All right, let us get to this carny piece of shit, Don Callis, where he was supposed to have an interview with Tony Schiavone, who I don't even, he said it was my great displeasure to introduce this next man. He fucking hates Don, and I can't say I blame him. So
I mean, even Excalibur was like, "We're so sorry," you know.
Yeah, it like Don has reached MJF levels of them not wanting him on screen, and it's been great. So Don comes to the ring, and the ramp is just flanked by security, as you can kind of see on the screen there. And comes down and to just piece of shit chants. And Tony's like, well, you hear what the crowd thinks of you. So why'd you betray Kenny? And Don instead wants to talk about all the things that Kenny did to him, calling himself the victim in this situation. Don starts listing all the great things that happened to Kenny because of him, such as Omega versus Jericho in the Tokyo Dome and winning the IWGP Championship and winning the AEW Championship on Don's first night in AEW. And you know what? I did kind of want him to hear.
Not true, by the way.
A little bit more.
Not true, by the way.
That last one?
Don was doing commentary the entire tournament that Kenny won, leading to the world title win against Moxley.
That is true, but Don's a carny piece of shit and a liar.
That he is. That he is.
As he's listing all of these things, Kenny's music hits. Security tries to stop Omega, but obviously he just starts punching them all in the face. He's actually doing a pretty good job of it. You know, definitely better than 10. But he gets jumped from behind by the BCC, and all four of them just kick the shit out of him until he gets hit with a Death Rider on the ramp. The BCC hits the ring, and Don just clears out. That's Don's new profile picture on Twitter, for those of you who haven't seen it. Don clears out, and we unfortunately don't get to hear anything else from him. But Moxley grabs a mic and tells Kenny to stay down because the war is over. As Kenny tries to start to get up, the Young Bucks music hits, and they limp out after they got jumped earlier with a trash can full of weapons. But still 4-on-3 until the cowboy music hits and Hangman Adam Page returns with an eye patch, I might add. He comes out, Kenny kind of looks at him, and Kenny hands him the barbed wire wrapped broom, and all of them hit the ring pretty hard with Hangman leading the charge. The BCC just gets fucking demolished here. All these guys have weapons. Somebody did the Jim Duggan hey-oh for the 2x4, which I really appreciated. And it was great. They just absolutely demolished him, but the BCC was unarmed, so can't really blame them. But Wheeler gets singled out, you know, as the weak usually do. He gets thrown into, Law of the Jungle, man. The weak link always dies. He gets thrown in
Law
the
of the Jungle Man or Law of the Jungle Boy?
Man.
He gets hit with a BTE trigger after Kenny shoulder checked him. Kenny was running around with the garbage can lid like a shield, and I thought it was fucking hilarious. He was just running into people with it. You're right. Like I said, he gets hit with the BTE trigger, and then Hangman hits a buckshot lariat, and Wheeler is just thrown out of the ring. And Don Scarface. No, Don is a carny piece of shit. Fuck him. Anyway, Hangman has a ring in his hand as Wheeler exits the ring, and we see him.
Has a ring in his hand?
Oh, excuse me, a mic in his hand. As we see him in the ring on the one side, and the Elite, the three of them on the other, as we've seen many times before in this company. And there was that moment's hesitation where you're like, oh God, who's turning on whom here? But instead, Hangman goes and joins the line with the other members of the Elite. He then declares that the four of them are the heart and soul of the company, and that they are the Elite, and that it will be the Elite versus the BCC at Double or Nothing in an Anarchy at the Arena match. So this was fucking hype, James. Hangman is back. The eye patch is leather, which is cool. It fits the aesthetic. But it's so nice to see these guys together again. I've missed it so, and this BTE is going to be phenomenal.
I was so happy. Kenny Instagrammed a picture of them all arm in arm at the end of the show that wasn't on TV. I was waiting for him to say it. I was waiting for him to say it. I wanted to hear him say that they are the Elite, and he did, and I freaked out. I was so happy. We've been waiting for this moment for so long, and it was worth it. It was worth the wait. This was beautiful storytelling, second only to the Bloodline, according to Takeshita. But
It's such a good line.
So good.
But
But
who's shitting your cereal?
I'm so happy that they were able to stick the landing on this, and I know the story's not over. That was funny. I don't know, man. I'm getting everything I want out of this story. You know, the BCC feel like the group they should be right now. I'm not so thrilled with them being like attack dogs. You know, it's starting to feel more Shield-esque and less what they wanted to be when they started the group. But I understand that they are trying to get booed, so they gotta be shitty. But I don't know, weird dynamic for me. But the Elite just, it felt so right. They've played off of that image of the three of them standing behind Hangman. What's going to happen? They've done it, I think, twice already. First after the tag match. Yep. Once when they saved Hangman. And now again they did it. And it feels so right. And
I feel like they've done it more than that, but those are the two that stand out.
Yeah.
Was more heat on Callis or Dom? It's a good question.
Weird the Summer Rae's tweeting
it. I mean, wrestling legend Summer Rae.
WWE legend.
Fair enough. But
it's literally in her bio.
And it's different types of heat. It's definitely different types of heat. But yes, this was perfect. This was I was surprised that they were having this segment end the show, and then the segment played out the way it did, and it was like there was no other way this show should have ended. So loved it. Top marks, A+, S tier, Elite.
Yeah, if you're gonna have Hangman come back, especially in this way, and reunite with the rest of the Elite, then you have to end the show like that. And I was with you there for a second. I was like, wait, fucking Donna's ending? And I was like, they're going to do something. And I could not think of what it was. And obviously, this was your big answer. I did want to touch on something you did mention before I go to Danny. And with the BCC being more attack dogs. And I think it goes back to something at least I thought of, and I think said of when they first started turning heel, just in the sense that they've wanted to always be violent. And it's just them taking it too far. And that's what has led into their heel turn, obviously, is just them being ultra violent. So you're right. Like it is a bit of a Shield feel to it, them just like jumping people, but it's less of a Hounds of Justice thing and more of just we don't like you and we're the violent people, so we're going to jump you type of thing. So a little less reasoning behind it, I guess I would say.